Hi guys, welcome back to another vlogmas video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my makeup inventory. I'm going to do a little bit different this time. I'm not going to be comparing each category or my overall numbers to the last time I filmed this. I just find that makes me feel a little bit stressed because I do have more makeup than I used to, I'll tell you that much. So I will link that video down below for you guys if you want to see my most recent one, which is actually in January of this year. So this is a whole year's difference. But I don't want to film things that I don't enjoy like at all, but I do like to film inventory videos. It's just like, for some reason, like tying a number to it and how many products I have and comparing it to last time, I start to feel guilty if the number gets higher when in reality, I do use up a good bit of makeup. I don't purchase, in my opinion, an excessive amount of makeup every year. I do have quite a sizable collection in my opinion, but I also just feel like it's manageable. So that's what's more important to me, that I like all of my products and that I'm using them and enjoying them, and also not just excessively purchasing new things. So that's how I want to look at it from now on. I just want to go ahead and share the amount of products I have in my collection per category and just show you guys what my collection currently looks like. I will have photos of each category as we go through, and I will share a total number at the end. I'm just not going to be comparing them in this video to my most recent video. So like I said, if you want to watch that, I'll have it linked down below. But let's go ahead and jump into my makeup inventory. You guys are gonna have to excuse how my makeup looks right now because it is almost 8:30 at night and I've had this on since about 6 a.m. this morning. So it's a little bit expired, but that's okay. So starting out with primers, I actually currently have 4 primers and I really like all of these. I will say that I recently picked up the little foil packet of the Milk makeup one and used that, and I really prefer the Milk, is it called the Hydro Grip, I think, in comparison to this e.l.f. Power Grip primer. It's just a lot easier for me to apply to the skin, but I do like the e.l.f. one, so I would like to try and use it up before I were to purchase the Milk one, maybe, hopefully, I don't know. But the Wet n Wild one is my favorite. I love the Glossier one for a really dewy look, and the Cali Ray one is a new one to my collection, but I am enjoying it so far. For as much as I love primer, and as much as I think it's a really necessary step, I'm surprised I only have 4 in my collection. I could stand to try another 1 or 2 in the next year, but I'm not gonna rush to pick up any because I do like the ones that I have. Moving on to foundation, I'm actually really happy with how my foundation collection is looking. I do have my eye on one foundation of this bunch I might declutter pretty soon because the shade is so bad for my skin, but I do like the formula, and that is the Physicians Formula Butter Believe It. But overall, I do have 9 foundations right now, and you'll see a sticky note in a couple of these categories. I actually ordered the Kokie HD Perfect foundation, and I wanted to include anything that I've ordered that's not here yet in this inventory amount, so I just decided that that was the best way to do it. So if you see a sticky note in any of the pictures, that is included as a product in my count. So I do have 9 foundations, and I'm really happy with all of these. When I look at all of these on the photo, I love them all except for the Physicians Formula one. I'm considering decluttering the Physicians Formula one to someone with a warmer skin tone than me, but for now it's still in my collection and we'll just kind of keep on rolling. So for concealers as well, I also have 9. And again, I do have a sticky note for this one because I decided to try one from Kokie. So I also decided to include under eye brighteners in this. So 2 of the products in here are under eye brighteners and then the other 7 are concealers. Again, I'm pretty happy with this. I will say that not all of these are my absolute favorites. I like the Huda one because it's real brightening. I'm almost done with the Kokie one, but I don't really love that one. I like the Neutrogena one pretty well. I love the Flower Beauty one. I love the Rare Beauty concealer. Not the biggest fan of the Rare Beauty under eye brightener, unfortunately, but I have been loving the 2 potted products, the Lottie under eye brightener and the NARS matte creamy concealer, or soft matte creamy concealer. Oh my gosh, I never say that name right. And I'm really excited to try the one from Kokie. So I'm happy with this collection here. I'll be very happy when I use up the current Kokie one in my collection. It's very peachy and I just have a really cool undertone and I prefer that in my makeup products. So it's just kind of okay. But overall, I'm pretty happy with my concealer collection. It's just not like, when I look at this, I don't feel as excited as I do when I look at foundations, if that makes sense, because they're not all my favorites in this category, but that's okay. Next up is powder, and I have 5 powders. I'm just now realizing that the CoverGirl powder was definitely upside down in that photo. I don't know how that happened. I was kind of taking these in a little bit of a rush, but yeah, I've got 5. I think these are the same 5 I had in January, but it's a new CoverGirl one because I've used it up, and it's a new number 7 one. Those are both repurchases. So I do like all of ththese powders a lot. The glowish one is even growing on me, so a good kind of solid category. And then next up is setting spray. So I actually have quite a few setting sprays in my collection. I would like to use up one of these this year, or this coming up year, especially the Ben Nye Final Seal. I have my eye on that one to finish it up because I feel like I've had that in my collection now for years, and I could probably stand to use that one up. But I really like all the rest of these, especially the Charlotte Tilbury one, but honestly, they're all favorites. I really enjoy all of my setting sprays. So I have 6 of those, of course, as you're seeing in the photo here, and I'm totally fine with all of those. For face palettes this year, these are any of face products or cheek products that have 2 or more of a different category. So like a highlight duo, you'll see that reflected in my highlight number, but these are anything that has like a blush and a highlight, or a contour and a highlight, or multiples of any of those. So I currently have 7 face palettes, and I do really like all of these as well. I don't reach into some of them quite as much as others, but the Lip Bar one, the Ulta Beauty one, and the Charlotte Tilbury one for sure are my favorites. And I do reach into the Oma contour stick a good bit as well. The Revolution one is new, and I'm enjoying that one so far, but I also haven't had it for very long. The category of bronzer makes me so happy because I do have a few pans in this category, but I would love to see some more pans next year. I'm not sure if that'll happen because the products I don't have pan in, you can tell I don't use them as much, obviously, and that's because the 3 that are my favorites are the ones that already have pan. I reach for them constantly. I've been really liking the Too Faced one this year, but I do have 9 bronzers right now. I'm almost done with the Charlotte Tilbury one. I feel like I could use that up like within a couple of months with consistent, like semi-consistent usage. If I was using it like every day, I'd probably use it up in less than a month, but I'm just not using a cream bronzer product every single day. But yeah, I really do like bronzers. I like how all of these have different tones. Some of them are more like a contour, some of them are more like a bronzer. So I'm happy with my bronzer collection as well, having 9. Blush is a bit of a busier category. As you can see, I have 15 blushes, so I've got quite a few. I do have 2 newer ones from MAC I'm still testing out. So outside of those 2, all of these are truly some of my favorites ever, and I've really been enjoying them. Again, I have some pretty good usage in these products. The Fenty product that you're seeing on the bottom left, like 2 from the left, that's actually the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick pushed into a compact to be a blush. And then on the top row, 3 from the left side, that is actually the blush from the e.l.f. cheek palette, the Cantaloupe one that has a blush and a highlight. I love that blush, so I just wanted to point those out. But yeah, I really do like all of my blushes as well, and that's just how I want to feel about my collection. So I'm not trying to focus so much on the numbers this year. Next up for highlight, I put a poll on my Instagram story, and as I'm sitting down to film this, it is like neck and neck, like 1 or 2 votes off from one another. And if I were to vote, I would say it would count as 1. So I'm saying I have 12 highlights, even though you might be seeing 13 products in the photo. The reason for that is because the KJH brand highlight, it's like she says she took a highlight, like a liquid highlight, and then separated the liquid part and the pigment part so that you could customize your product. But it's like a 2-step process, and I would really never use one without the other. I don't enjoy them without the other product. So I'm counting them as 1 because it just makes sense to me, because I'm never going to use them separately. And they came together, like that's how they're intended to be used as well. So I'm counting my highlights as 12, but again, I'm really trying not to be so focused on the numbers. So if that bothers you and you want it to be 13, then just go ahead and pretend that I'm saying it's 13. And when I tell you my final number, just add 1 number to it. So I'm pretty happy with my highlights. I will say I have a couple that I'm really trying to enjoy more than I maybe do naturally. Trying to like come around, especially that KJH product. I'm not impressed by that. I'm gonna have to really think twice before I order products from celebrities or YouTubers, anything like that anymore, because I just feel like I keep being burned by them. So I'm just gonna have to really pay more attention before I make those types of purchases in 2024. For lip liners, I have 14 lip liners. I'm actually surprised I have so many because that's a category where I feel like I have a lot of gaps in my collection. But looking at it, I kind of don't But especially now that I added the new one, which is on the right, the Natasha Denona one, that actually just came in the mail today and I have it on right now. I'm really enjoying this color. I'm not so sure about the lipstick yet because it was giving me a hard time applying it to the center of my lips there, but I'll keep you posted. I actually used my Ulta points for the lip liner and the lipstick from Natasha Denona. That were the I Need a Nude ones. They've been on my wish list for a really long time and I could get them for free with my points for free, you know, but I could redeem my points and get them. So I decided to do that this year and I'm really excited about it just because I've wanted them for so long. And I do have another one coming in the mail again from the Koki order. So yeah, overall 14 is a little bit more than I thought that I had, but I do really like all of them. So again, I'm fine with that number. For lip gloss, I have 15. Again, this one seems kind of like a lot when I think about it like that, but when I'm looking at it, I do have several different like unique formulas. I have some lip glosses, some lip oils, and between the lip glosses, some of them are definitely more wearable than others. I've got some with glitters in them and such, and some that are more pigmented than others. I have a purple lip gloss, so some that are just more fun and creative, which I also like to have in my collection. I might not wear them every day, but that's okay because I do have the ones I will wear every day. But sometimes I just like to have more unique ones for fun, like creative looks, whether I'm posting them on Instagram or I'm going to film with them or I'm just creating them just because. I actually have really been liking lip gloss this year, which I usually don't, but I just haven't been enjoying like a thick lip product on the lips. So like a thin layer of lip gloss has been my go-to this year. That brings us to lipstick. This is my next to highest category actually. So I have 31 lipsticks and these include like regular bullet lipsticks and lip crayons, liquid lipsticks, all of the above in that number. And I really like all of my lipsticks. Honestly, I have a lot from that Ulta Beauty line. I have several from the NYX line, but I really like all of these. I've been enjoying the Revi Beauty ones and the Tarte Quench Lip Rescue. That type of a product, again, with the thin layer of lip gloss, that's been another one of my favorites to wear this year just because I haven't been wanting to wear a lot on the lips, like I said. So I've been really enjoying some of these products as well, and I'm glad to have all of these in my collection. So those are all of my lipsticks. Moving on to mascaras, I have 5 mascaras open right now, which is kind of a lot to have open at one time, but I've been enjoying all of them, I would say. The Ulta Beauty one does transfer quite a bit, so I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to hold on to that one. It's just like I don't want to use it. So outside of that one, I'm really liking all of the other ones. For eyeshadow primer, I have 6 eyeshadow primers. One of these is a glitter glue and one of them is a black pigment base that you can put like shimmers on to have a different sort of an effect with them. So that leaves me with 4 kind of more standard eyeshadow primers, and I really like all 4 of these, to be honest. I will say that the Ulta Beauty one has been my favorite this year, but the CoverGirl Lid Lock Up is also really good. I love that it has a doe foot. The Urban Decay one's kind of just a classic. It's not my favorite out of the 4, but I do really like it, and I also really enjoyed the About Face one. So I really like all of them in my collection. I honestly have not used the black pigment base, but I'm excited to try it out with some of my more vibrant Clionadh shadows that I recently picked up. I'm excited to see how they would look on top of that base. So I am glad to have all 6 of these in my collection as well. Moving on to eyeliners, I have 11 eyeliners. That seems like a lot, but they're all very different formulas and colors and textures, and it just kind of adds up, you know, as you add one, they add up pretty quickly there. So I've got a couple black eyeliners that I really like. I also have a brown liquid liner. I've got several different colors in pencil liners, and then I've got a white cake liner, which is really nice for more like graphic looks and things. So I get use out of pretty much all of these. They're not my most used category by any means, but I do really like to have them in my collection, and I like to have a bit of a variety. So I'm happy with the ones in my collection. To be honest, I would not mind to get rid of the 2 black liquid liners I have and replace them with the e.l.f. H2O proof eyeliner. That's just my favorite one, and I really miss it in my collection. So once those dry up or I use them up, I will not repurchase either one of the Kaja or the Maybelline one, but I will pick up the e.l.f. H2O proof eyeliner pen again. Okay, for single eyeshadows, I'm going to share 2 pictures here. So I decided to include all of my single, like individually packaged shadows in addition to 4 palettes where I typically house my single shades. So the Nabla one, which is like a glitter palette, that one already comes in a palette. But for my single shades, I keep all of them in little palettes. So this is how I have had them curated for the majority of the year. And I'm just going to count each palette as one product. I don't find it to be beneficial to count each pan individually. That just like really makes me unhappy, like to see that number be so large. I don't know, it's just in my head. Maybe you guys can relate. Again, if that bothers you, go ahead and add them up, by all means. But that's how I have them in my collection. It's how I like to think about them. It's how I use them, and it's how I'm going to have them for my inventory. So between the 4 palettes and then all of these single ones, I have 13 single shadows. That's just how I put them in my inventory. So I'm really happy about that. I've been really using my single shadows a lot more this year than I feel like I have in years past. So that's been really nice to just reach into them some more. Looking at that Profusion green liquid one though, I need to use that more. I think I've only used it like twice, but I cannot get rid of it. So if you guys ever use that, let me know how you like to use it best, because I need to use it more before it goes bad. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, that is all of our categories except for my favorite, which is eyeshadow palettes. I have 36 eyeshadow palettes, which feels like a lot again, but we're not harping on that. I've got a lot of little mini palettes, and I really do like all of my palettes. There are a couple that I don't use very often. If you guys missed my recent palette ranking video based on actual usage, I'll have that link down below for you guys. You can see exactly how many times I've used each of these palettes in the whole year of 2023. I was quite surprised by several of them. But that being said, even if I didn't reach for a palette but a couple of times and I still have it in my collection, it's still in my collection for a reason, and I still really like it. And just looking at all of my eyeshadow palettes together makes me so happy, and that is exactly how I want to feel when I look at my collection. You might notice in the middle of the photo that there is an empty palette with a bunch of little singles. Those are all of my Cliona single shadows, and I'm housing them in one palette together. I actually purchased a palette for them to go in, so in my head it's more of like a custom palette versus like a bunch of singles. It's just how my brain works, and it's how I like to think about my collection, so that's being counted with my palettes. But overall, like, I don't think it really matters. So I am really happy with my eyeshadow palette collection. That's what I'm trying to focus on. And yeah, looking at this, I just see like so many of my favorites, and that's how I want to feel. So I'm hoping to kind of continue feeling this way, continue with this energy into 2024. I will be practicing a low buy. So I'm going to be sharing some low buy content with you guys. I mentioned this, I think, in yesterday's video, but I'm going to be taking a break after Vlogmas. I am exhausted. I am so tired. Like right now, I still have to get done filming this and then edit tomorrow's video because I'm out of pre-filmed content that was just totally ready to go. My schedule just got busy and I haven't been able to keep up with it, unfortunately, for like the last week. But I'm so excited about Vlogmas because I was able to pre-film a lot. We were really ahead of it. My husband was really helpful with scheduling my videos. He's been making some of my thumbnails lately, and that's been super, super helpful. So I could not have been this ahead for sure without him. And I'm really, really grateful for that. But I am tired. So after Vlogmas, I will be taking a break, but I will be coming back with some no buy content, some low buy content, because a no buy just does not work for me, to be honest. But I will be doing some sort of a low buy. I'll come back in January and let you guys know exactly how I'm going to structure that. But until then, I have one more video for you guys coming out tomorrow. You will see me clean this room and actually put away all my Christmas decor, which is not there now because I was just working on that. But I'm just kind of trying to get reset, refresh the makeup room for 2024. I am really excited for where my channel can go in 2024. I have a few ideas, and so I'm excited to share this with you guys. If there's anything you guys want to see from my channel in 2024, please be sure to let me know down below. I love seeing what you guys want to see from my channel because I make videos for you guys to watch. So definitely let me know down below. If you did enjoy today's video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also be sure to check down below in the description box for last year's video or January's video of this year. But with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow for my last Vlogmas video. Bye.